The Avengers, or Avengers Assemble if you live in the UK like me, but I still call it the Avengers. We're still on the road to Infinity War, and I thought it'd be rude not to talk about the first Avengers before Infinity War comes out, because it just needs to happen. So the Avengers came out in 2012, and this was the culmination of phase 1 of the MCU. We had the individual films for the core Avengers, and they will finally come together in this film to fight Loki and save New York City and the world. Now that I've finished phase 1 on my road to Infinity War, it was a little bit bumpy. We had Iron Man 1, which was really good, then Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2 provided a few bumps in the road, and then we got back to relatively smooth with Thor and Captain America the First Avenger. So now I come to the thing it was all building up towards, the Avengers, the big crossover. The road might have been a little bumpy leading up to it, but the destination was also satisfying. Even though phase 1 was a bit rocky like I said, the crossover was such a well done film that it kind of forgives the bumpy road leading up to it for me. Joss Whedon did a really good job at making each individual character feel relevant and important to the film. Even characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye, who are the humans amongst the superhumans of the Avengers, still feel like they have a place in the Avengers. When stuff's going down, they can get humans out of buildings and they can evacuate civilians, whilst Iron Man, Thor and Captain America and Hulk are taking out the big threats that are tearing the city apart. And as exciting and entertaining this film is, it's also got some really good character moments. Like that moment between Black Widow and Hawkeye when Hawkeye breaks from Loki's spell and they have that really small moment of dialogue between the two. You really start to feel the humanity of these characters. They're not just big superheroes fighting for truth and justice, they actually have their own inner problems and they have their own perspective on things. And that's another really great thing they did with the Avengers as well. They got them all together, but it's not like they instantly just clicked and started fighting for truth and justice. They all had their different perspectives on the situation, and they all had their big personalities. They obviously clashed when they all first met, but on the whole they all wanted to achieve the same goal. They just had different ways of seeing it and different ways of going about it, and that's what makes these kind of films so good. If they were just all the exact same, like stock superhero characters fighting for the same common goal, it wouldn't be as interesting or as entertaining. We definitely wouldn't have got that fight between Thor and Iron Man, which, by the way, that was the first time in this film where I just started getting giddy at the action going down, because it was just so entertaining seeing these two larger than life characters just bash together and just destroy the woods that they were fighting in, and the personalities in the mix, and they're throwing the banter between each other. It was entertaining as hell. And the last 20 minutes of this film, the whole Battle of New York, or the incident as they call it in the Netflix shows, is just some of the most awesome summer blockbuster excitement I've seen in a film in recent years. And what would a crossover film be if it didn't have a really good villain, and Loki was the guy for the job. I just love the deviousness of Loki. You can just tell by his facial expressions that he's always got a plan, and he's always just cooking up some little scheme behind the scenes, and he knows how to get under the skin of each Avenger, and you just don't trust him any single time he's on screen. Tom Hiddleston just, wow, he kills it as this character. In the end, the Avengers was exactly what the Avengers was hyped up as being and what it should have been. All the Marvel characters to that point came together to fight for the common goal, and they were all well developed in the film. They're all given their individual moments to shine. They all felt relevant and important. It really felt like the films leading up to it were building up to this film. It wasn't like a series of films and then this other film that just happened to have all the characters in it. It had the payoff that it needed to have. It has the great character moments, it's very well written, it's well directed, it's funny, and of course it is ridiculously exciting just seeing all this amazing action go down. This is what big summer blockbusters should be. They should be exciting, really entertaining, but also have the good characters and the well written story and the well written dialogue. Put it all together and you have an awesome package of awesomeness. Yeah, people call this film overrated nowadays, but I don't give a damn. I love the Avengers. It's one of the best films of the MCU so far, and I do not apologise in the slightest for giving the Avengers a 5 out of 5. So I've finished with phase 1 of the MCU on my road to Infinity War. I'm not talking about every single MCU film leading up to Infinity War. You'll notice I didn't do Thor or Captain America the First Avenger. I might do Avengers Age of Ultron maybe, and maybe another one in there, but we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, guys, what do you think of the Avengers? Do you like it as much as me? Do you think it's overrated like some people say? Whatever your thoughts are on the Avengers, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more of my stuff, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.